everyone, so I figured I would do another album review for you guys. It's been a while and try a different format, and so I wanted to talk about Kelly Clarkson's Meaning of Life album today because I've been listening to it recently, really loved it, figured I would talk about it. And so let's get into it. The first song is A Minute. This is the intro. I think that this is a cute intro. It has nice vocals, production, and lyrics, doesn't go on too long, which I appreciate. Track 2 is Love So Soft, and I quite enjoyed this one. I think it has a really nice groove to it. The vocals are really punchy, and I really love them on the back end as well. You know when you listen to something and you can tell that the singer just had a really fun time in the studio. They're doing it for the love of the game. They love singing. This is what they do. And that is what's going on here. She was just really, feeling herself on the back end of it. I loved all the riffs and runs in terms of the vocals, so I really love the vocal performance on it as well. I like the songwriting on the track as well. I think everything just goes nicely together and just something that really grabs you in. Track 3 is Heat, and I think this is a fantastic record. I really love the way that it builds up to the chorus. I think it's great writing, and I love the way that it builds up with the vocals as well. And it's really catchy, which I always appreciate, and just saying like, I need heat from you, I need the passion from you, and just the way that everything comes together on this track is great. I love the production on it as well, and just a really great thing to have on the record. It perfectly continues the momentum from the second track. I just like the personality it has. The title track, Meaning of Life. I think that this is a strong track. I really love a great title track, and I appreciate the sentiment saying your love saved me and it showed me the meaning of life. And it kind of just gives me the vibes of like whenever you see like a couple in like a movie in real life and like they see each other and it's like they fall in love with each other all over again, and like they're reminded of what they care for about each other and things like that. Every time I listen to this song, I fall in love with it all over again, and there's something so grounding about this song. It's just a really beautiful piece on the album and some of my favorite work that she just ever done, period. And I love the chorus on this. I know that it's like really repetitive, but the song is so good it doesn't bother me much, and just something that really stays with me every single time that I listen to it, and just such a amazing track. And I heard that this wasn't a single. I don't know why they didn't release this as a single. I think that that's a missed opportunity. Okay, so I just looked this up, and apparently it was a promotional single at the time, but I think that this should have been given the full single treatment. I really would have liked to see how it would have done on the charts, with that, but it is what it is. And also it would have been nice to have this as a last track on the album, because I think that it just would have been like a strong ending song and just really tied everything up beautifully. I think it has everything that is like the makings for an ending track, but one of the best songs in the album, in my personal opinion, might be my favorite song. I really, really love it. Always look forward to it. Next up is gonna be Move. This was just kind of like a mid track to me. I get what she was going for with the sentiments, but it just doesn't really move me. And I think compared to the tracks before this that were really strong and that are really memorable in so many different ways, this one just pales in comparison to me. Just not my moment. Next up is Whole Lotta Woman. So I really love the sass and confidence on this one. It's just a feel good anthem, and you need that sometimes. And it's a really fun one to listen to and just puts me in a great mood every single time. And I really appreciate the production and the instrumentation as well. Bridge is great. I think her vocals on here are superb. I really like the lyrics, I think that they kind of work in the song. She says, all I'm needing is a baby to love me like a warm biscuit on a Sunday morning. I got what you want and made me to please. I got what it takes. I sure got the means. I got what you want, sugar, honey, iced tea. And then also I noticed that there's like a Tina Turner reference, I believe, because she says in Rolling Like Tina, which I'm pretty sure is a reference to Proud Mary, and rest in peace to Tina Turner, of course, the queen of rock and roll. So I appreciate all those elements of it, and just the way that she owns it, most importantly. And just sometimes you need something like this. I think it's a good place in the track listing. I think that this is an improvement over the last song, so I really do enjoy it. Next up is Medicine. I think that this is a decent track. The vocals on here fit really nicely with the production. I like the lyrics on here as well, and the sentiments. The next song is going to be Cruel. I think that this is a really interesting track. I think the vocals on here are delightful. Love the production and lyrics. A really enjoyable one for me. And saying don't be cruel to me because I'm giving you all that I can, and basically you're just like kind of making it harder, so don't do that to me. And it is very reminiscent to me of something on Meghan Trainor's Tidal album, which I really loved at the time. I don't know if they used some of the same writers or anything, but this is something that caught my ear whenever I listened to it, and I feel like it could have fit on that respective album. I think that's a great album, by the way. Meghan Trainor Ain't Sing Heaven though. Have not listened to the album full in years and whatever, but I really do like this song. It's a good piece on the album, and I think it's a nice way to follow up the last track and kind of like balances out the energy. Next up is Didn't I think that this is a good track. I can appreciate the sentiment saying like, didn't I give you everything I had, and just saying like, I can't do this anymore to how you treated me. So for what it is, I appreciate it. I don't think it's one of the stronger tracks on the album, but I appreciate it for what it is. It's not something that I'd find myself skipping in the future. Next up is Would You Call That Love. I think that this is an alright song. It's really repetitive and not in the best way. And to me, this sounds like a Pink reject, and I feel like she should have done that song instead. And I think that Kelly does a great job with her vocals and everything like that, but again, it just doesn't hold up to the other stronger records on this album for me. Something that sounds dated and not in the best way, so I didn't really need this on the album. I wouldn't say that this is a bad song. I can listen to it. This is one that I could definitely see myself skipping in the future. It just depends on how I'm feeling, I guess. I'll keep listening onto the album and see how I feel about it, but it just doesn't hold its weight compared to everything else on the album for me. The next song is going to be I Don't Think About You. I think this is a great ballad, and I feel like it's really hard to write a great one. I really appreciate a solid ballad, and nothing irritates me more than when a ballad comes and I'm just like, this is mediocre, and it just bores me to tears. And luckily, this does not fall into that camp for me, so I'm happy about that. And the sentiment of it is just saying, you've put me through a lot, but now I don't think about you anymore, and I'm glad for who I've become as a person, which I can appreciate. Vocals on here are amazing, and I just really love the moments that she gets to on here, so they're really pleasant to listen to. Production is great, and I think that the bridge on here is amazing as well. So overall, it's a decent piece on the album, and just thank God that I didn't get another boring ballad, because you guys know how many times I've went on about, oh, this was mediocre and da-da-da-da, but it's a good one. Next up is going to be Slow Dance. So this is a very intriguing one for me. It gives old Hollywood vibes, which I absolutely love, and I appreciate when songs remind me of a specific time period, and that's what this does for me. And I think that this is a pretty cool and light track. I appreciate its place in the track listing a lot, especially after the ballad that we just had. It has a nice guitar solo on here, vocals on point as always. I like the writing, I appreciate it for what it is, and it's something that stands out on the album just because it's unique from everything else and a unique piece in the discography. Next up is going to be Don't You Pretend. So in this song, one thing that really strikes me is the textures that her voice has. I think it's just something that is really cool, and the sentiment of this is saying, I want to love you, and that I just need to know where I stand with you, like where's this thing gonna go? And she's like, the suspense is killing me. And the background vocals in this remind me of the ending part of Luther Vandross's rendition of A House Is Not a Home, whenever he's like, say you're gonna be, are you gonna be, like that part. So I thought that that was like a really cool thing. I don't know if they did it on purpose or if it's just a coincidence, but I really like that. And I love the bridge on here, and this is just a very distinctive song, so I appreciate it for what it is. And the last song on the album is going to be Go High. I appreciate the message of strength, resilience, and taking the high road, which isn't easy. And the chorus is fine until this vocal effect comes on, which reminds me of the Piece by Piece album, which in my opinion just aged horribly, and it's like, do not bring me back to that, please, because I think that that's one of the worst albums in her discography, but I digress. But besides that, I really like it, and again, I think the title track should have been the closer, but it's good for what it is. And now on to my overall thoughts on this album. I think this is a great record. It was something that was really enjoyable for me to listen to. Are there some moments that don't really stand up to others on the album? Sure, but I think for what it is, it's a decent offering, and I'm really glad to hear her doing R&B again, because of the first album, you had songs like Some Kind of Miracle and also Anytime as well, which were really soulful, and she also did a cover of You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman, which was originally done by Aretha Franklin, who was one of her biggest influences. And so I feel like R&B really suits her voice well, so for her to finally do it again, I was like really thankful for it, no pun intended, because it's just something that I've been saying like I want to hear her do more of. I felt like she never did enough of it, and so I'm glad that she tapped back into it once again. And so I feel like this was also something that was really refreshing to listen to, and we know that she is the queen of pop rock. I really feel like she's mastered that genre. I don't think anyone can do it better than her, and I will say that. But it's nice to see her go back to the R&B, to the soul elements, and so I think it's a really nice piece in terms of that. Her vocals on here are amazing. Like I said, vocal chops are great. One of the best singers of all time. You can just tell that she's having fun all over this album. A lot of impressive vocal moments there, I will say. I genuinely like the production. I think at some moments it can kind of sound like hollow or cheap with like the 808s, I believe, like just like moments there. I think there might have been like some horns that were like, you know, like programmed and things like that. Like that's definitely something that could be a possibility. Maybe I'm wrong, but sometimes it sounds kind of hollow and like kind of dated. Also, listening to this album, it definitely sounds like some of the songs could have been in Grey's Anatomy with the production, which doesn't bother me, but something I figured I'd add. So generally, I like the production of this album. I think that the songwriting on here is great for the most part. There's a lot of catchy moments. I will say I wish that she would have had more of a hand in the songwriting, because I looked up the credits and she only wrote like 4 of the songs in this. I think that she's a great songwriter. I wish that she would pick up the pen more with her music, but I mean, for what it is, these are great songwriters. I think that this is one of her best albums, probably like top 4 in her discography. This is one that I can see myself revisiting a fair amount, so I really appreciate this. Again, a really refreshing body of work, so glad to have it in the discography, I will say. I also really like the album cover. I think that it's really fun as well. But overall, this is definitely one of her best albums. I'd highly recommend listening to it if you haven't already. I'm excited wanted to talk about Chemistry more. I heard it live at the Belasco, which was amazing, and once all the footage comes out from it and like the things are officially released, then I want to talk about it, because I didn't want to, you know, share anything before the album was officially released, you know, out of respect. So I definitely will do that. I think we're going to do an actual album review for it since I've already heard it and everything, so it'll probably come out like a week after the album, something around there, so definitely stay tuned for that. Let me know what you guys think of this new format. I really wanted to try something different that I've never done before. It's something that I've been thinking about, so let me know if you guys want to see more videos like this. This is something that I enjoy for sure, so I want to tap into it more, but my whole goal for this year was to stretch and try new things. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comments in terms of that. I really wanted to do another album review because I have not done one in so long where it was like just me and just not a Twitter space. Didn't want to record this week, so figured I would try it. So give me honest feedback down below in the comments and let me know other albums that you guys would like me to review, whether it's in this format or whether I'm actually like in the video. I want to do more of that, and so let me know. If you guys want to see more videos on Kelly, I'll have a card on the screen right here to where you guys can go to. It'll be at the end of this video and link down below in the description. But that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching it. If you enjoyed it, give it a like down below. It helps me out a lot in the YouTube algorithm, and I'd very much appreciate it. You guys can subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. If you hit the bell, you get a notification to your phone so you do not miss when I post brand new videos. The first link down below in the description is going to be my second channel. I have a video on there that is coming that I recorded in April that I really need to finish, and in general for my YouTube, I just really need to like get it together. I hate that I keep promising you guys stuff and I'm not living up to my end of the bargain. It's killing me, and I just like really need to get it together and just get in high gear, because I used to be a lot better about like having my own deadlines and fixing it. So I acknowledge that, I apologize for that, and I really have to change, because you know, this is just like not what I want to be doing. So you know, I really need to get that out soon, hopefully in like the next week or so, like seriously. And I know I've said this so many times, but like for real. So definitely subscribe over there. Still need to do the Flow concert review and have some other things I need to do over there and over here, so subscribe, and more stuff will be coming, I promise. I really do. I'm also going to have my Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, and TikTok if you guys would like to follow me over there, as well as a link to stream this album if you're interested. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.